This Elantra generation was rolled out back in 2011, and when it rolled back out in that year, it really received a lot of praise for its comfort, its value, and its unique style. And in 2014, the Elantra received some pretty significant updates, including on the exterior styling and a new trim available and a more powerful engine, and upgraded infotainment features and a quieter cabin. So is it worthy to compete with the likes of the very popular Honda Civic and Toyota Corolla? Let's go ahead and find out. So here's the key fob design for the vehicle. You have your lock, unlock, to release your trunk, and your panic button on the back, which is quite rare to see. I've never really seen a panic button on the other side of the key fob. But as far as the design goes of it, it's kind of boring. Reminds me of the 2000s or the 90s, and especially this right here reminds me of the 90s. Don't expect to find a switchblade key or a chrome around the key fob or anything like that. Now, as far as the styling goes on the Elantra, it definitely makes up for the key fob design. I really do like this styling of the Elantra, and for 2014 they added LED accenting lights right there, and then they added LED tail lights as well. But overall, it's a very stylish compact sedan. You can really do some things to it to make it look more expensive. Now, what you're looking at here is the 2015 Elantra SE with the shale gray metallic exterior, and I quite like this exterior color a lot. I'm not too big of a fan of grays usually, but I really do like this exterior color. And it does have a black cloth interior, manual driver seat adjustments too. Now, stepping on into the interior of the Elantra, it's very uniquely styled, and they pretty much had this style ever since the 2011 model year, but they changed the controls for your AC controls and made it even simpler for the buttons and knobs, and then it's more easy to read too as well. And then they added some nice black piano veneer trim, things like that. And overall, it's a quite inviting interior design. Very nice. They do have a full leather wrapped steering wheel. And as far as the steering wheel design goes, I really do like the steering wheel design. I've always been a pretty big fan of Hyundai's steering wheels. They do have a 6-speed automatic transmission with Shiftronic, or what I call manual shiftability. And you do have a rear view camera with guidance lines. And I really do like the shift boot. I think it's quite premium. It has a very premium feel to it, I have to say. Now let's go ahead and call on the lights and the hazards too. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood. Check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with a little blind spot mirror. And you do have your halogen projector headlights with your halogen daytime running lights. And like I said, you do have the LED accenting lights, but they're not LED daytime running lights. Very aggressive looking front end. Now, under the hood of most Elantras, you will find a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's a very quiet motor, I have to say, and it's quite fuel efficient too, earning EPA numbers of 28 in the city and 38 on the highway, with horsepower ratings being 145 horses with 130 pound-feet of torque. And it's actually one of the best in the class in terms of horsepower numbers, and compared to like a Toyota Corolla, which offers about 132 horses compared to this 145. Now, optional is a more powerful 2-liter 4-cylinder engine available on the Sport trim. And if you're looking for the most power out of the Elantra, then you're definitely going to want the 2-liter 4-cylinder. Now, competitors of the Elantra are, of course, the Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, Chevrolet Cruze, Ford Focus, Volkswagen Jetta, and the Kia Forte, which is the Elantra's cousin. And pricing starts at $17,200 for the SE trim, and then you can go to the Limited, which starts at $21,650, and then you have the Sport trim, which starts at $21,700. And then you could choose between the 6-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. Now, I do like the nice crease and the flowing lines that run through the sides. Definitely gives it a more expensive look. Now, coming to the rear, you do have optional LED tail lamps, which look great in my opinion. And I love the style of these tail lights. I really like how they updated them. Definitely took some styling cues from the Sonata. Lots of flowing lines, as you can see on the Elantra. Now, like I said, EPA estimates are 28 in the city and 38 on the highway. Total vehicle price for this particular Elantra is $21,120. And of course, you have your power windows, power door locks, power mirrors too. And your nice soft touch armrest, and it's wrapped in cloth right here on the mid door panel, but hard plastic on the upper door panel. And let's go ahead and rev up that 1.8 liter 4-cylinder and see what kind of soundtrack she makes. Pretty nice. It actually doesn't sound too bad for a 4-cylinder engine. I can only imagine what the 2-liter 4-cylinder sounds like. I actually quite like the sound of that 4-cylinder, that 1.8 liter, quite a lot. Now, as far as the build and materials quality go, the materials are okay for this class. They're pretty average. The build quality is pretty good too. You have a nice soft touch dash, but hard touch up here, hard touch on the upper door panel, which really needs to be soft touched because that's one of the most important places to be a soft touch place. Hard plastics pretty much everywhere though, besides this part right here. And the graining is okay, it's decent. Now you have your cup holders right here, your e-brake. Now you have your center console right here. Don't expect to find anything like a power outlet down there or anything. It's decently sized for the compact class, but it is nice and soft touch. Now down there you will find your iPod integration, your USB port, and auxiliary input. And then coming to your AC controls, you have your fan speeds, of course, your temperatures, and your different zones. Very well laid out, very ergonomically correct. They're just very easy to use on a day-to-day basis. I really do like the layout of these controls. And then you have your rear window defroster button, your front window defroster as well. Now coming to your main head unit here, you have AM, FM, XM satellite radio too. And this is Hyundai's new downgraded head unit that you will find in the Sonata and the Elantra and the Accent too. And then you have your different media options too. It is a touchscreen as well.
Turn Bluetooth on from your device in order to search.
And it works pretty well, and I do like the black piano veneer trim that goes around it. It definitely gives it a more premium feel. You can change the sound, of course. And the responsiveness of the touchscreen is excellent. And the loading times are exquisite too. Just really great loading times and great responsiveness. Now you do have your digital clock up there, and then your temperature readout right there too. Then you have your seek and track button. Now coming here, you have a manual dimming rearview mirror, your sunglass container, your sunroof controls, now the headliner is actually pretty cheap. Feels like a cardboard that you will find in the 2012 Toyota Camry, but it's actually kind of cheap, I have to say. Not plush at all. Coming to your steering wheel controls, you have your cruise control buttons, and you have different drive modes. You have a sport mode, a comfort mode, and a normal mode as well, and it tells you what mode you're in up there. And then coming over to the set of buttons over here, you have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, and then to change the radio station and the different source, and then you have your voice recognition and your Bluetooth right there. And then you also do have a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Now coming to the gauge cluster, I really like the gauges. I really like the white illumination around them. They're nice, crisp, and clear, which is what you want in a compact sedan. Now coming to your center screen right there, it's basically going to show all your vehicle information, of course, and your trip odometer and your fuel economy data and things like that. Pretty basic screen right there though. Then coming over here, you have your intermittent windshield wipers, of course, too. And you also do have a active eco button, which helps save fuel. Then you have your traction control too over here. And I quite like this trim going all around the car. I think it looks pretty high quality. It gives it a very contrasting feel inside of the Elantra, I have to say. Now, as far as the ride and handling go in the Elantra, the ride is more comfort oriented. It's very comparable to a Toyota Corolla. It's not it's not stiff in its ride. It's very comfortable, and that's what you want in a commuter car. Now, as far as the handling goes, it's not going to handle as well as the Mazda 3 or even as well as the Honda Civic. The Elantra is more like of the Corolla, but if you want the most oomph out of the Elantra, then you're definitely going to want to go with the Sport model, which gives you the sport suspension, of course, and then you get the upgraded 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Now, as far as visibility goes out of the Elantra, it's okay. It's definitely not the best in class. There's a little bit of glass area. Now, compared to like a Honda Civic, the Civic's definitely going to give you a lot more glass area. That C-pillar is very thick back there, and it just decreases the visibility quite a lot. And the A-pillar is also kind of thick too, I have to say. But it's okay in the class. It's not the best by far. You definitely want to go with a Honda Civic or a Corolla if you're looking for the best visibility. Now, as far as the seats go in the Elantra, they're quite comfortable, nice and cushy. They kind of remind me of the Toyota Corolla again. I found a pretty good driving position, I have to say, and I'm just very comfortable. I could use this car for a long road trip, and I would be very, very comfortable in this car. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the Elantra. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the car, as well as the rear seat legroom and the trunk capacity. Now, I do like how the trunk lid lifts almost all the way up, I have to say, which is definitely good if you're trying to put groceries inside of the trunk. Now, compared to like a Toyota Corolla, it only just lifts up just a little bit. Now, the trunk space is actually pretty good, I have to say. And you do have a 60-40 split folding rear seat with a cargo net too. Not bad. Not bad at all. And if you're wanting to fold the rear seats down, just pull these little levers right here. Now, build quality does pretty much follow through in the rear. You still have a pretty nice soft touch armrest, and it is still wrapped in cloth on the mid-door panel, and of course still hard to the touch, but a decent graining to it on the upper door panel. Now, sitting back here, if you're looking for the most space in a compact car, definitely go with a Corolla or Jetta. There's still enough space back here. This is pretty much where my driving position would be, and I'm about 5'11". But in a Corolla, I would definitely have a little bit more space. But my knees are kind of touching against the back of the seat. But as far as the seats, the way they're designed, they're actually quite comfortable, I have to say, very well bolstered. But you do have a rear center armrest with cup holders, thank God. The Corolla doesn't even offer a rear center armrest, so that's kind of a con of the Corolla. Now, optional, you can also get heated rear seats too, which is a very premium feature for a compact car. And you do have cup holders right there too. Oh. Full manual passenger seat. Now you have your glove box compartment, which is nice and damped. Pretty high quality for a compact car. Alrighty. And you do have another 12-volt power outlet right there. So the Elantra, it's comfortable, it's quiet, and it's fuel efficient too, which are the main attributes that you want in a commuter car like this. And on top of that, it's very stylish as well, and it offers two very fuel efficient and quite powerful powertrains too. Now, with this said, the Elantra is a very solid pick for a compact sedan and is easily a worthy competitor against the Honda Civic as well as the Toyota Corolla. So remember that this